I mean, just I know what the coaches have to say about them. They were great players. They're great people. Different leadership styles, definitely. But I think for what I'm seeing from both of them is that you can't really be afraid to say the truth to a person. Like maybe not, oh, like I'll tell him next time, but definitely tell him right then and there. And if it happens again, tell him right then and there. Just not being afraid to want to be great. So I think just from our team in the past years, we've had like problems trying to, in a sense, figure out what we're doing wrong and kind of confronting that problem. So those two just helped a lot. Just from seeing them do it for us, it's just I can definitely implement that next year.
I know that they know me, they respect my leadership, and they, respect me as a person. And for the players that were recruited while I was still playing and things like that, it's important for them to see that they have alumni that have their back. They have alumni that want them to be successful and want them to continue to do well. And I know that my support can play a large role in that. So whatever I can do for the program, whatever I can do to make sure that Richmond women's basketball is successful, I want to do that.
Well, I think for me it even started because I'm a local kid, so from my junior and senior year in high school, I would come up and play pickup with the team. And at that point, obviously I wasn't a student here yet, but for me, especially the Billneys and just current players then became mentors for me even before I got here. And so I just think it's cool to see how there are just different levels of it. And for me now being out, it's good for me to come back and be able to just work with the players. And I think it is important because it's just nice to be able to come back and give back to them what I feel that I still can offer.
I remember when I was being recruited, Jen was the person that they told me to look at and watch, and that's who they kind of wanted me to play like. So definitely having the support from her is helpful. You're not always having a coach in your ear, and she's been through the same things, and she's, like you said, all over the record book. So pretty much the kind of relationship we have is if I'm not pulling my weight in something, she'll tell me right away, and then that's when I have to pick it up. So we have the type of relationship where I'm listening to her because she is a mentor. So it's definitely helpful when she comes and works me out and kind of gives me advice on certain things and tells me, hey Jade, you're doing this right, you need to fix this, those sort of things.
Me, someone who's graduated, someone who's been through what she's been through before, is telling her that she can do this and be better than me, then why not be confident in her own abilities? Because it's one thing for the coaches to say something, but as a player, after you've been yelled at and you're tired and things like that, you don't want to hear what the coaches have to say. You just you start blocking it out. So to have like or to have a former player, someone who's like kind of where she's at mentally, I think it kind of like, it's another reinforcement that's different than what she's already getting on a consistent basis.
I mean, I watched Becca in high school playing both soccer and basketball, and just the resilience and like her hustle and her heart. I really admire that, and I really try to implement it in my game as well. But it's not just her hustle; it's like how she has fun with it. So you could be doing like the worst exercise ever, but she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna win," and you're like, "Oh, I don't want her to win, so I have to win." And I really admire that about her, and I couldn't thank her enough for like really just showing me what that's like, because I don't like to run, but she's gonna beat me in a sprint. I'm trying to beat her as well.
I see a lot of the same things in her. I think for me, I never saw myself as the most skilled basketball player, and I think Michaela has more skill than I did. But I think the toughness, the mentality that she has is definitely something similar to what I had when I was here. And I think that her potential for adding the skills to that mentality, obviously she can still grow in both things, but I think that that's something that I think that's something that this team needs and that she really has to offer.
No, nothing is easy. We're Division I basketball players, or they are Division I basketball players, and you know, if it was easy, then everybody would get a full scholarship. Everybody would have the opportunity to do what we do. But I mean, you know, we are playing at a really high level, so this isn't going to be easy. It's not meant to be easy. You have to work hard, and it has to hurt, or else when it's supposed to be easy, when you're going through hardships on the basketball court and stuff like that, it's going to feel like insurmountable. So you have to be able to get through whatever it is that you're going through and not give up.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, especially for seniors, I mean, me sitting in their shoes, junior coming into my senior year, I thought I had, you know, my whole year basketball and soccer, and second game of soccer season, that completely changed. And so I think my biggest thing and what I try to tell the team is don't take anything for granted. You know, like, you're on the court for an hour and 15 minutes twice a week right now or whatever it is, but you be there, you know, enjoy that. And I think that that's something that not only in basketball but in life is important. You know, you're never going to get something that I really learned at Richmond, especially my senior year, was you're never going to get that day, that opportunity back, and to make the most of it. And I think that that extends beyond basketball. And I think that that is something that was kind of imparted to me and that I'm still living in my life today, is that, you know, every day is a gift and you never know what's going to come of it. And I think that a lot of times we get kind of just stuck in our circumstances, and it's like, take a breath and realize, you know, today's a gift, and whether it's on the court or off the court, it's something that you're not going to get back. And I think that that is something that is important for not only the seniors, but really even the freshmen to understand and then to kind of take beyond the court.